you don't think about those things. You just think about what's right in front of you, and you're going step at a time, and you're right. I don't know that anywhere across the country over my time here at UCF that there was so much change academically, campus-wide, and athletically at this university. The growth and the growing pains that we all were going through, no matter where you were on campus, was truly incredible. I think when I got here, student population was maybe 23,000, something like that. When I left, it was 58,000. I mean, that's incredible growth. And certainly changing conferences, every few years. I was in 3 conferences in the time that I was here, and they've just continued. But just very proud of our players, coaches. I'm really standing here today on their shoulders, because they're the ones that did it and made it happen. But very proud of what we accomplished together as a unit. And you look back on it, and just all of those struggles and everything, but you see where it's taken this university and this athletic department, and it's kind of neat to look back on.
Coach, when did you know that you were going to be part of this group, and when did you get the call, and who was the one that called you?
Well, Mark Daniels called me.
Okay.
He FaceTimed me and stuff, and that was when I found out. I can't remember the exact that day and stuff, but special coming from Mark. I think Mark is really, in my time in athletics, he was the best play-by-play guy, coaches show guy that I've ever worked with, and he's first class in every way, and really represents this Orlando community and UCF in such a positive way, and so it was really neat to hear it from Mark.
Mark mentioned you in his speech last year when he got inducted. A lot of your former players vouched for you to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. What does it mean to have that support? A lot of fans too, like writing articles, sending notes about you being inducted. Now that it's come, what do you mean to have that support?
I didn't know that, but that's pretty special. You always want to, have people talk well about yourself and that type of thing. But like I said, it was a total team effort from the players, coaches, but fans, administrator, everybody was involved in our time here, and it's nice of those guys to say those words and think that I'm worthy of this.
What were your emotions today coming back on campus and seeing not only how far UCF has come, but also bringing back some memories for you when you were here?
Well, I was back last year with honoring the 93-94 team, the first Division I team to go to the tournament. So, been back with that and saw a lot of the players and stuff. Today was really a fun family day. We got all of our kids here, all of our grandkids, and so they wore me out in the pool, attacking the water monster. So that was a heavy day for me, lifting all these kids and tossing them and doing all that, but it was fun.
Coach, what would you say the biggest difference between UCF basketball when you arrived at campus versus the UCF basketball you left when you left?
Well, I think we established ourselves as a solid basketball program. They were Division I for 10 years before I took the job, and every one of those previous coaches, there were 3 previous coaches during that decade in Division I, and none of them ever coached a basketball game again, and they never had a winning season in that decade. So it was trying to get over that hump and establish some continuity in what we were trying to do, and try to win some of those conference tournament games, because at that point in time, that was really the way that you had to earn your way into the NCAA tournament. And that was our focus as a staff. We did a lot of things early in the year that would help us and prepare us for those conference tournaments. And, like in the Atlantic Sun, I think we were in 7 championship games in 11 years. So it was a struggle every step of the way, but it was fun and gratifying as well.
Coach, you mentioned growth. Now this is a basketball team that's in the Big 12 conference second year. What do you mean? What does it mean to know that the program that you once helped build has reached this level, this division?
Well, that's the point of it all. Just what you say, and you take great pride in. Hopefully, we laid a foundation from which now this program can build on. And certainly they've done a great job. I think Donnie is one of the, or Johnny, I'm sorry. Sorry, Johnny. I thought Johnny has done a tremendous job here, and he's one of the great coaches in the country and such a good man. And he's really taken our players during our tenure here, and wrapped his arms around them and welcomed them back to campus and that type of thing. So I'm very proud of Johnny and what he's done and the entire coaching staff.
Coach, you look at how the game has changed. You talk about NIL and all the things that coaches have to deal with now. Do you think about how much simpler maybe it was during when you were coaching and how?
Wouldn't say it was simple. It's totally different though.
Yeah.
And I retired 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of things that went into my decision to retire. I saw this coming, and it was going to just dramatically change everything, and I just didn't like the path that it was going. And you can see it with other,
Tony
Bennett, Jay Wright. I mean, there's some high-quality individuals, high-quality coaches that have moved on, because we all got into it back in the day. We all got into it to really help develop young men into great adults, family people, as well as trying to teach them and coach them to be the best individual player that they can be, but do it collectively with their teammates. And and you look back and and people have called me since I retired, and they have kind words to say about maybe what we taught them and what we did. Not that it was easy, because we were demanding, and we held people accountable. And that's what we got into it for those relationships and to help build that type of thing, on whatever campus that you're coaching on. Now I think that changes. You don't even know who your roster is going to be from not only year to year, might be week to week, in this day and age. And certainly all the smarter people in the country than I am will figure something out and, kind of balance the scales a little bit and put some guardrails on it. But right now there's no guardrails, and it's not good for anybody.
Well, looking back on your 17 years here, what are some of your favorite memories? What kind of comes to mind when you look back on your years at UCF?
Oh, there's so many, great memories. The relationships that you build with, your players, and the people in the community and the fan base and the students. And, it's really special when the students are yelling your name when you come out on the court and that type of thing. And, the Kirk's jerks and, all their signs and all their chants and that type of thing, which, bring back great memories. But it's the players, and the celebrations, in the locker room. And you think back to, the whole chest bumping stuff with me started when we won a big, I think it was the first year or the first 2 years we were in Conference USA when we were playing at UTEP. And UTEP has a strong history in basketball. It's a really tough place to play. And we came from behind, won that game at UTEP, and we come in the locker room, and I mean, those guys are chest bumping the living daylights out of me. Well, that became the thing every time we had a big win, to the detriment of me physically, to the point where you got Jakob Kuzmarek, who's 7'4" and 300 pounds, drilling me back into the wall and about knocking me out. But no, there's just so many. You can't really think of them all at the same time.
What does it mean to you to know you've left such a legacy?
Well, it just, it means a lot to our family, because they were all in. Our 4 kids, my wife, that's, when you're in coaching, you got to have everybody all in with you. And it was great that we could be here and really raise all 4 of our kids in this great community of Orlando and Oviedo in particular. But, it just gives you a sense of accomplishment, I guess, when you think back on it.
One or two more?
Coach, through all the ups and downs, there was fans who supported and celebrated the great wins. Do you have any message to the people who have helped you get here to this moment today?
Well, again, I just appreciate all the fans and all the support we got from everybody, in the community and but the student body, is tremendous. And like I say, the Kirk's Jerks were tremendous. And, you think back all those good times and, that happened and all those great games and the support. And they were a big part of our wins, even in the old, gym with the garage door on the end. And it, a sense of accomplishment going from what we did the first couple of days we were here to, finishing off in the new arena. That's pretty special too.
Coach, what was the impact of your time at UCF had on you as a coach?
Well, you learn a lot of lessons. There's a lot of things you feel like you did right, and there's other things that you feel like, well, maybe you could have done a little bit better job on. But, again, it just comes back to the relationships you had with the players, and it's really gives you, not that, any of us had that much to do with, but you look back at some of our players and they're so accomplished, and they're being so successful in their own personal lives and in their families. And, like we had our whole families here, kids, grandkids and stuff. And so we went to Mike O'Donnell's neighborhood and trick-or-treated last night, and you watch how Mike and his family and how his kids react. And, it was fun, doing that the other night. But you just think about those great relationships.
Last one
Yeah,
from
Coach,
Kevin.
I just wanted to talk more about where you mentioned the Kirk's Jerks. Because I've been watching UCF basketball since the mid-1970s when we first started. And all during that time period, the best, most vocal, supportive group for the coach was the Kirk's Jerks. They were really a unique group of students that supported you. And us other fans would be watching the games, and I was saying, hey, Kirk's Jerks were awesome. And even to this day, when there's people talk saying, God, we wish we had a Kirk's Jerks type group again. So congratulations for that, because I know they appreciated you as a coach.
Well, they were a special group, that group, and but the whole student body, and I think Jimmy Skiles, he was a manager for us and then moved on to other things, but he was a grassroots guy that really got those students rolling, for us, and he was tremendous, and you got to give Jimmy a lot of credit for the grassroots efforts and stuff. But that was a unique group, those Kirk's Jerks. They got their own T-shirts. They're selling them on the, online and stuff. I mean, those guys are great.
I mean, honestly, I'm still trying to really put it in words. I'm trying to still find out what it is, because, in so many ways I was told I wasn't supposed to be here. And, I would never even thought Hall of Fame when I was playing football. So to be able to be in this moment, to have this honor, I mean, obviously it's the biggest one I ever had. And it's like, I'm still trying to take it all in. And I was saying, like, I didn't know. When I was surprised, I was really surprised for a reason. Like, because I was like, whoa, me? And you know me, I'm a person, like, if y'all see me play, if y'all see how I am, I'm big on team, I'm big on the people around me. I'm a grateful person. So to be able to have this honor, I'm grateful, but it's really because of the people around me, the people who love watching me play, my teammates who enjoyed playing with me and giving everything they had for what truly things that I wanted. And we used to have those conversations. For those of you who know, I slept inside the facility. I used to have conversations with teammates 4 in the morning about things we wanted. I was like, man, I want to go to the league with my brother. I want to get there. You know, a lot of guys wanted to become and have a spectacular season, but it's like, what it's going to take? We got to buy in. And it's just like, them guys knew what I wanted so badly. I didn't want to be the guy who had one good season. I want to be a guy who played with his teammates and did something extraordinary. So no matter how hard it was, I knew my guys was like, they're going to give everything they had. I'm going to keep going right now because I got to finish this story. It's like, but I remember it was going against Memphis. And I remember it was a play that happened at McKenzie. It didn't go the way he liked. He came off the sideline. He was kind of getting upset. And I remember going to him. I was like, bro, hey, remember what we've been doing this whole year. It's like, how about this? You get some water. Don't get too comfortable. We're going to get the ball back. And then you go do what you do best. And then his smile, it just went up. And I was just like, that was the team. It doesn't matter how hard it was. Like, we going to figure this out. And let's enjoy what we're doing. Plays when we played against SMU, same thing. Like, we dance on the field. It's because we're not worrying about we're going to protect every single blade of grass because I know how important it is to me and for you. So we're going to make it happen.
You talked about when you found out up on that stage in front of everybody. How are the emotions then compared to now? Is it still kind of the same? Has it changed a little bit?
I mean, obviously it changed because I know, But when people are like, hey, Hall of Famer, for me. So when I say I'm still getting used to it, is that because like it is happening fast. Like we having a ceremony today. So when you thinking about trying to take it in and embrace it, and I'm a person where it's like, I wasn't a person who just talked about the accolades. I'm not a person who walked around UCF like, y'all know I was All-American, right? I was never that person. So to have this accolades, like it was, of course I need to accept this. Like I should be crying right now. Like I was really teary-eyed. Like I had to squeeze my nose. Like not right now. I gotta save this. But it just goes to show like I'm a person who I never really jumped out and talked about how important accolades was. But for this one, it hit my heart. Like it hit so differently. Whereas it's like it made me be confused with how I want to have my emotions. But I know when I get up there and receive it and everything is in the air, it's gonna be a water park for sure.
Team Hall of Fame rules dictate that 7 years is the minimum number of years before an athlete is eligible for nomination. So I like to call it the first ballot Hall of Famer. What does it mean to you to be to get inducted at the first possible chance, and also to be the first among your 2017 team to go into this Hall of Fame?
Talking about a unanimous decision? Still confused. Because I'm still taking it in. I'm sorry. But when I was told a story about how it happened, it's like people knew for weeks. And I talked to a lot of people at UCF, so to be able to hold back that I was in the Hall of Fame, and I gotta say, Manny almost slipped up, but he did a good job not. Because it was like, after 7 years, and then he stopped. And I was like, 7 years what? Like, what's 7 years? No. You coming to the luncheon?
So Manny almost spoiled it for you?
Yes. No, you gotta stay. The relationship that I have with Manny is he's seen me come my freshman year. He's seen me go through so many things. Like he used to come and comfort, me and my brother in so many ways. Like we was going through stuff. We was a different time in the beginning. Them first few years that I got into college, like things that was demeaning that was happening. Manny will always be there. It was big in football with Manny. I would be in a car with Manny, he'd be showing me properties, he'd be teaching me stuff. I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. And he had twin boys, and then he looked at me and my brother as if we was his. So yes, it's different. So when him holding it in, it's harder than probably everybody. They're like, those my sons. I gotta hold back. So I can imagine how hard it was. So when it came out, it was just like, I did a good job. I did a really good job. Okay, nobody didn't slip up, and it made the moment that much better.
I know there's a lot of memories that you're probably thinking back of looking at your career, but what stands out when you're thinking about your years at UCF, the big games, the big performances? What are your favorite memories?
The big performances. Does it have to be a performance?
Hey, you can do whatever you want.
I feel like the biggest memories was the moments that we had as a team where the coaches wasn't in yet. We'll have round tables where it's like something's off about you. You're not yourself. And now you got the whole team like, you're not yourself. And there's moments where you grew as a person, you grew as a man, and it's just like we wasn't little kids no more. It's just like we're understanding like, yeah, we go through stuff, guys. Big whoop, you too, you. And it's just like if you're not yourself, that means you ain't your best right now. What's up? And it's like sleeping in that facility for so long and being able to have guys come in, it was starting to make sense on how we can support each other. Like, no matter how hard it looks, I get it. Like, Mackenzie, being far from home. You know how many people probably far from home and going through stuff? Like, you ain't the only one. You got so many people who come from a different demographic, whereas it's like they don't like the environment, so I'm not going to go back to that. I want to rechange my environment, and I need this. I felt that. So how can I help you get there? And we used to have those moments like that inside that locker room where we had to remind each other why we even doing this. Why do we choose to go put our body on the line? Why do we choose to go make that play? Why we choose like I'm gonna just instead of being nervous to make this play, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna take my shot because my boys need it. And we was able to figure it out in the inner circle, in the locker room, in everything, and then we brought it to the field, and then we showed the world what we can do.
Shaquem, how proud are you to have used your story to motivate and continue to inspire people?
How proud am I of myself? Of how I'm able to motivate people?
Yeah, just how proud is that to inspire and continue to inspire people of all ages?
I mean, I didn't know I was gonna become that. No idea. I didn't know I was going to inspire people. I didn't know I was going to be motivational. I'm a motivational speaker now, but honestly, I tell people I'm just a reminder, honestly. You think you ain't been through something before? Everybody has. I'm just reminding you to keep going, to keep overcoming, to not settle, to don't settle with what you don't want. Just a reminder.
But people need that.
Exactly that. Exactly that. But that's why we became the team that we became, because I was reminding people. When I go speak before every game about somebody in front of us that's trying to stop us. But if we are one team, one heartbeat, if we move on all one accord, if we go through the struggles and overcome the struggles as one, I think we can do something special here. And it's one day, one game, one opportunity at a time, no matter how bad or how good it is, we're going to move as one.
With all your passion and love for football, have you ever thought about getting into coaching?
I was actually offered an opportunity in San Fran. I turned it down. I think something for me is that speaking, that energy, that, serving. I feel like I can be a football coach.
Yeah.
And yes, I can serve a lot of players, but in so many ways, I feel like there's other ways I can serve them. And maybe it's not just coaching. I can serve them on mental fortitude. I can serve them on how to be, okay with not being okay. I can serve them to understand that if you don't like your circumstance now, how hard you going to work to change your circumstances for later. And it may not be me coaching, especially when you get to the league and stuff like that. You got some guys who think they know it all. See what I'm saying? And then now, the culture, let's all be honest, NIL's a confusing time. It's like the Wild Wild West, and it's confusing for coaches. They still try to figure it out. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want no parts of that. And I talk to coaches. I have players that I play with who coach now, and it's like they still figuring it out. It is Wild Wild West, and it's just like I know what I'm capable of doing because I've seen it happen before. I've seen people change their mindset. I've seen people buy in. I've seen people have unwavering faith and focus on what they wanted. It's like, how do I give that to other people? I'm a servant. I always been that. I always told my mom I want to serve somebody, serve people anyway. One story, y'all here now. My mom used to work in the hospital, so I was like, man, that's how I'm going to serve. I'm going to become a surgeon. She took me to the ER room one time, blood spurted on me, and I was like, yep, not this way. So I had to figure out something else. And now I'm feeling like I'm closer to my purpose, and honestly, everything I went to allowed me to be there, where it's just like, okay, I'm going to live through this purpose. I'm going to keep serving. I'm going to keep helping. I'm going to keep showing people that if you want more, you can have more.
I think one of the things that stand out most about your career and past your football career is persevering through the adversity. Like Trey's mentioned, being an inspiration to so many people. You said you don't know why you're that inspiration, but why does it mean so much to you? Why keep going with that inspiration, motivational speaking, and to inspire people all around the world?
Because I love it. I love it so much, and for me is when I'm out there helping somebody else, I'm helping myself. I still go through life. Life be lifing, right? Now, I still go through it. So when I'm speaking to somebody and I'm so passionate about it because I think I needed that. And that's how I carry myself. And I know I thrive in hard times. So I'm invited. Come on with it. And it's like when I overcome it, let me go I can tell my son about that. I can tell my mom about that. And my mom still getting inspired in so many ways. I'd be like, Mom, how? But in her way, it is inspiring. My brother is just like, no matter what you go through, but you do thrive in really hardships. But that made me the person I am. And that's me being able to inspire not just the people around me, but like my brothers. And in so many ways, people get to the NFL can get complacent, can get comfortable, can get like, oh, I got it all. And to continue to want to learn and grow and be a part, and it's things that I've been doing.
All right, Shaquem's got to go. Thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
I was very modest, as far as, listen, I had accolades, but I never talked about it. My father talked about it every day till the day you passed 9 months ago. You should be in the Hall of Fame. You should be. I said, Dad, it's okay. I said, I was an honor to play. You should be in the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he didn't make it here. But it was an idea. Seeing my teammates get in. But it's an honor. When I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, I don't want to say this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step foot on UCF, and I'm not saying this for you guys, but when I step all I can do is bleed black and gold. I dream about it to this day. So getting in the Hall of Fame is the greatest honor, you know, and one of the best days. My son is number one, so.
Are you going to be thinking about Dad when you're up there tonight? Obviously, you said this would
If
be
you see
really
me lose,
important to him.
yeah, it's going to be very difficult. It's even difficult. But he was my biggest fan, and but okay, I got to keep it together. No, it was as far as the Hall of Fame, it's an honor, a privilege, and you know, I'm so thankful this came, and I was recognized after 34 years out of it. So.
Talk about bleeding black and gold. I mean, what to even now to be a part of this group, you know, and you see some of the other inductees. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. To be part of this, I mean, regardless of the Hall of Fame, you know, black and gold, I've seen since 1986, and I won the number 41. That's really to this day every security, everything has 41 in it.
Yeah.
Everything's and. So it means everything. Coach Speraw is a legend. You know, Shaquem. I'm getting to know the other candidates. To share the stage with them is an honor. You know, this is a great class. So.
What were the emotions for you today coming back on campus and seeing UCF again and seeing where UCF is now?
Nostalgia is an understatement. And, you know, I just saw my entire offensive line. And I got to keep it together, you know, but it's wonderful. I mean, it's hectic. And it's, you know, it's something every kid who plays football dreams of. You know, yeah, NFL, but this is, to me, this is bigger than the NFL. Because if I played in the NFL, I might not be walking right now. So, now this is a wonderful honor.
You talk about, you know, seeing your whole offensive line. I'm sure you were very close to those guys. You talk a lot during the process.
You know, we talk every now and then. We can, you know, some of them we haven't talked in years.
Okay.
And I see them, it's like I talked to them yesterday.
Was that?
You know, everybody has their life. We go on, we lose touch, but, you know, because we went through it 4 years, and I say 4 years because nowadays the kids don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
We had the luxury to know that the kid we came in with, if he made it through, we're going to see him 4 years from now.
Yeah.
And that's something that made those teams so special too. But seeing these guys, it's amazing. I mean, a lot of guys, you know, drove up. My best friends that all came from New Jersey. I had 4 of them. The guy out here, I have 15 people from my family are here, so a lot of support. But my teammates, they're something else. The fact that they showed up, my offensive line, and my fullback, Perry Belasis, always has to come first. And
you're very much a running back who gives credit to everybody. But
well, you know, I'm not as modest as you think. You know, you know they say, oh, you know, running backs, people have to be humble. We're not really that humble. You know? If we were that humble, we would sit behind the guy who's in front of us. Oh, okay, you do a good job. No, I wasn't that humble. No, but we have to come across so people don't hate us that much.
So what was the connection coming down from New Jersey? How did you get down to UCF? What was that recruiting process?
You know, I hate to say I'm trying not to say that, but I'm going to tell the story in my speech, but I'm not going to tell it to you now because it's a good story. When I came down here, there was an assistant, Randy Romero, called me in May of 1986, and he says, hey, you know, I got your video, I got your highlight tape, come see the school. I go, oh, I'd love to see it. He goes, but we have no scholarships. And I said, can I get that water real quick, right behind me? I'm sorry. And he said, okay, I'll let you know if something happens. Okay. July of '86, he calls again. And he goes, thank you. And he goes, come to school, somebody turned down a full scholarship. So my dad, we hop in a plane. It's Continental Airlines where you actually paid on the flight, so that's how far it's going back. So we hop on the plane and we stay at Coach McDowell's house. The next day, we're in Coach McDowell's office. And number one, Coach McDowell was everything to me. He was a father figure, turned me into man. I love that man. And he goes, he dresses my father's, and what he offered us, it's like a half scholarship. Now my father, he was a blue collar guy. But he has good negotiating skill, but it wasn't negotiating, he just believed in his son. So he looked at Coach McDowell, he goes, my son's gonna come here for a half scholarship? And he gets up, and he goes, Coach, thank you for your hospitality. Goes to me, Mark, get up. We start walking towards the door. Coach McDowell, in his strong Southern drawl, he goes, Mr. Giacone, he goes, take a seat. He goes, Randy, right Giacone for a full ride. And that's where it started.
And now you
That's
share,
a true story.
and now you share a Hall of Fame spot with Coach McDowell.
I came last year, and it's everything to be with. I wish I would have been with him, or I wish he would have got inducted when he was still alive. It wasn't about me. I'm just so glad his family, Peggy and Blake. I invited Peggy couldn't make it, but Coach McDowell's son Blake is here. But that means everything to me. Coach McDowell, I'm so glad they finally pushed aside and he got in. But he was everything. I mean, I can go on and on what this program was. Now, you know, in 1986, we were doing 3 days. They can't even do 2 days nowadays. We were drinking out of garbage pails that had expired Gatorade. And the reason you expired because it had all the stuff on the bottom, so you really had to hit it hard. But it was cold, so we were happy to have it. So, yeah. But as far as McDowell, he was everything. To go in the Hall of Fame with him, it was just, it's a dream.
What are the favorite memories from your years at UCF? What stands out when you look back on your
Favorite memories? It would be, Youngstown State. And if I'll pick 2 memories. When we made it when we were at Collegiate Village Inn, and we were watching the top teams to get in, and we were number 18, but then it said there was 2 schools that weren't eligible because they had a game every year, and there must have been 15, 20 guys. We were crying because we knew we got to play again and lace up again. So that was one. Youngstown State was number 2. Youngstown State, everybody thought we were going to get crushed. We didn't. We knew we were going to win, except for we didn't have cleats at the time, but they came in the day before, so. But those 2 moments. I'm sorry if I rambled on. But.
You mentioned having nostalgia coming back to campus, but talk about how the school has grown now in the Big 12, second year in the Big 12, but it wouldn't have reached this level without starting up like when you were here. So just talk about that and how the school has grown and your legacy.
Well, coming back here, it's incredible. It's hard to take it all in. I mean, I went, I live in New Jersey. It took me almost 2 decades to get back here. And to be here and to see what we built, we helped build, we didn't build. It's tremendous. And, all the sweat and tears were worth it. Even though UCF was just a field with, grass patches all over, we never saw that. We saw the big picture. And that's, people would talk about players like, the coach would make players play with concussions. They never did that with us. But we never came off the field because we knew we wanted this today. We wanted UCF to be that. And if we knew we took a playoff, that would have never happened. So it's wonderful to see us in Big 12. I actually talked to Coach Malzahn today. I didn't give any tips. I was tempted though. But it's incredible to see this.
Last one. RJ Harvey right now has been rocking up the career yardage leaderboards. You've seen several other Willie English, one of your teammates, get in the Hall of Fame and make his mark in UCF history. What's it like to be among the rest of those running backs and get to witness RJ Harvey make his journey up the road?
Well, RJ Harvey is nothing less than spectacular. He's I don't like to say he's my favorite running back, but he's my favorite running back in the best single. I liked Isaiah Bizer, but Harvey's in the class by himself. He really is. He reminds me of Willie, except for he's a little faster than Willie. Willie English. But he's tremendous. And to be part, of that running back group, UCF really had coming up from 86, we had Elgin Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And then Willie and myself, or myself and Willie, because I was before Willie. So.